Hi, this is Joey from Two Blokes from Blighty. We'll get into the episode in just a second, but before we're going to hear about our good friend Dan from Casting Views. Take it away, Dan.
Fancy taking a humorous trip down a random topic each week? You do? Well, you're in luck. Casting Views, presented by me, Dan, and a host of guests, bring you just that. With topics from the world of entertainment, science, sport, and everyday life, there's bound to be a topic that's going to inform and amuse. Catch Casting Views every Sunday on all listening platforms now.
Sorry for my tiredness and explosions, but, we're here now. Get over it.
Sorry, audience, your question has been soiled for the week.
He's famous for hugs and kisses.
Would you hug and kiss an alligator?
Would I fuck? The jingle that gets sadder every time you hear it.
Goblins are nice.
Yeah, because it was when he went zoinks.
It's when he said zoink scoop and then jumped into the yellow rabbit suit.
Then killed a child.
Ate a kid.
Did you glue your hands to anything and shout "Just Stop Oil"? Wembley, Bembley, Boo.
Wembley. Go and listen to Game Changers. That's my new little side show.
Well, that's what I was going to plug because the episode with Andrew Bowen was great.
And basically curled up in the fetal position on the floor at Temple Mead.
Sounds like my kind of film.
It's bullshit, frankly.
So this one is an emotional support alligator denied entry to a baseball stadium.
Once the hour is too late, prey and arrogance have found their prey, and we will pay. Take my hand, it's now or never. Hi, this is Tim from Two Blokes from Blighty. Welcome to Two Blokes from Blighty. I'm joined by Joey. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, what was that song?
It's a song called Now or Never from the King of Fighters soundtrack.
I never know any of the songs that you do, because you always do niche, knobbly little ones. Hi, Tim, I'm good. I'm joined, as ever, here by the ever-tired Tim Fitzgerald.
Hello, I'm tired.
Good. It's, good energy to this episode today. Tim, we should address the elephant in the room before we go on to our usual things. We didn't do this last week.
No, you were under the weather.
Because I was tired. And
Yeah.
we tried to record, and we didn't.
And then Bonfire Night happened, and it made the whole thing a nightmare.
Yeah, we're recording with explosions behind us, not the one. So,
No.
Sorry for my tiredness and explosions, but we're here now. Get over it. You don't pay for this. You wouldn't pay for it. Say la vie. Tim,
Hey, Levy.
pub quiz question. Where are we going?
So your pub quiz question this week in November 1923. So exactly 100 years ago. What country experienced hyperinflation so severe that it led to the issuance of the famous 100 trillion banknote?
Uganda?
Not Uganda,
Rwanda?
not Rwanda, but we'll come back to it at the end of the episode if you want, or we can just continue naming countries.
Japan?
Not Japan.
Germany?
It actually is Germany, yes.
Fuck's sake. I knew it was Germany because it was straight after the First World War.
It was, yeah. They had a 100 trillion mark note. Do you want me to find another question for the audience?
No.
You sure? I mean, I can get one. I'm on ChatGPT.
No, it's fine.
All right, cool. Well, sorry, audience, your question has been soiled for the week.
Soiled, yeah. The ever soiling Joey Fitzgerald. Tim, do you want your day of the week?
Yeah, go on, give us me days.
I don't really understand any of these days, so let's crack on and see where we get to. So, National Education Support Professionals Day.
Well, hang on. What day is this episode going out?
Oh, sorry, it's going out on Wednesday. Tim, you know what that means?
It is
Wednesday the 15th.
Wednesday, my dude.
That jingle's always longer and shorter than I think it's going to be.
I don't understand how it does this.
No. Anyway, so National Education Support Professionals Day,
Yep. Okay.
National Raisin Bran Cereal Day,
Absolutely not.
National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day,
Definitely worth doing.
National Philanthropy Day.
Nah.
Are you a philanthropist?
I'm a. I'll say it, in case that soundbite goes anywhere.
I was hoping to get a new jingle out of that one. For any of you who don't know, it's a bit from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
And It's Always Sunny.
I love Community.
What?
It's the show.
Is it in that as well?
No.
Okay. And then the final one is National Spicy Hermit Cookie Day.
Oh, what? I like all of those things, but I don't know what the combination of them is.
I don't understand.
Can you click into it and get more details, or?
I don't want to.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to go with Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. And here's what I want.
How you're going to celebrate it.
Well, I actually have a plan for this. I want everyone to clean out their refrigerators, and the person who finds the oldest item wins.
Wins what? Your love and affection.
Yeah, sure. But I want to see the photos in our Discord and on our Twitter.
Nice. Very good. Okay, Tim. Where do you want to go now? You've written some things in our running order. I've got some things as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things I've got. I bought a couple of headlines this week.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me quickly.
Do you want to go to the top one first?
Let's go to the top one. Do you mind reading the headline?
Yeah, of course. So this one is an emotional support alligator denied entry to a baseball stadium.
So, I don't know if you've had the chance to read this.
Nope.
So the long and short of it is there is a Philadelphia Phillies fan. Wait, no, hang on. Isn't the Phillies? No, it's the Eagles, isn't it? That's NFL. The Phillies are baseball. Anyway, someone has a emotional support alligator, and the stadium said absolutely not because fucking alligator. They've kicked up a big hullabaloo about it on online, but here is where I take issue with this.
Is it the picture of the alligator wearing sunglasses?
No, that's staggeringly cool. The problem I have with this is the person who adopted this alligator is a TikTok and Instagram influencer.
Right.
To me, I think it seems a little disingenuous to be a TikTok and Instagram influencer, adopt an alligator of all animals, and then get upset when you can't take it into public places with crowds.
I don't know what you mean. I think an alligator is a perfectly legitimate animal to carry somewhere where there may be children.
Yeah, or dogs.
Or other people.
Or other people, for that matter. Where there's also a lot of food and noise around, and it's very easy for an animal to get overstimulated.
I do enjoy that it's called Walligator.
Yeah, Walligator is a cool name.
For a cool animal that wears sunglasses.
There's apparently a sign that says guide dog service animals and or service animals in training are all welcome. Other animals are prohibited. So I guess that's where the argument is that a Walligator is a service alligator.
It says at the end, the final quote is he's got a lot of people's attention. He's famous for hugs and kisses.
Would you hug and kiss an alligator?
Would I fuck?
But everyone says
that's like saying, would you get your hair cut by a train? No, I wouldn't.
But there's people in the article saying that he wouldn't bite anyone.
No,
you don't know that.
Would never do that.
It's a goddamn alligator. They've been around since dinosaur times.
Ridiculous.
It's stupid. Joey, what are you drinking there?
I'm 32 years old. I have had a cough for 8 weeks, and I'm soon to go to it for an X-ray for it. And I drink Prime.
Glowberry Prime. I also bought a bottle. I didn't like it.
So this is the same bottle. I sent Tim a picture of this bottle in the week and said, "What the fuck is Glowberry?" I've only just opened it because it's the only thing I have near me that is liquid, and I've got a sore throat. So I'm tasting it for the first time. I actually don't think the taste is bad. I think
Hmm.
the aftertaste is horrendous.
It tastes like sour apples, which, if that's what they're going for,
Well, you'll be pleased to know that on the back of the packet it says sour apple flavoured berry drink.
I mean, mission accomplished, I guess, but I don't particularly like it.
No, and it is actually meant to glow in the dark
Or the drink, or the.
drink. So if you leave it in the sun, it will apparently glow in the dark.
What did I read now? Or was it something I heard on Luke and Pete, where like one of their fans or listeners or whatever had taken a bottle of Prime from their son and filled it with like alcohol and pretended to drink it in front of the son, and the son drank it and got pissed.
I don't think I've heard that.
No, it's been I've not listened to them in a few weeks at this point, but
Wow. One of the things that you have on this article, they spoke about in their most recent episode, so we can talk about that, and I would describe that as crazy shit.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
is this the NFT thing?
Yeah, it is.
It's so fucking funny. Did you read or hear about this before?
I did. Please, Tim, talk us through what happened.
So for those who don't know, an NFT is a non-fungible token. Essentially, it's like cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it in a very layman's terms. And we're not going back to a crypto section, don't worry. So
If you ever think about buying a picture of a monkey online,
don't. So these people who have bought into this NFT called the Bored Ape, it's like one of the most iconic visual NFTs. I'm assuming there are other types of NFT as well. You mentioned one about someone owning goals or something football a little while ago. But it's one of the ones that kind of kickstarted the NFT image, I guess, I suppose.
Yeah.
And they had a convention or an event in Hong Kong called the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And at the end of it, they had a concert, which, cool, good for them. I don't know what the conference was for, by the way. Look at this monkey I have.
Well, they meet up every now and then and wank off each other over their NFTs, which are worth nothing now.
Well, that's it. But they went to Hong Kong. They had this festival, and what ended up happening was whoever installed the lighting at this thing. So, for those who don't know, who have never been to a concert or a rave, the lighting will typically consist of lasers, neon, and LED.
What don't they consist of, Tim?
Germicide level UV lights, generally speaking. So there was a bunch of people from who went to this concert, like waking up like 4 hours after the concert. There's one person here who tweeted, went to bed at 1:30 and woke up at 5 with my eyes burning. I wasn't even close to the stage, but had a hearing this bubble rumor. I don't know what the bubble rumor is about. Also hearing it can't just be particles in the air from Hong Kong. I went to the hospital and got basically zero help. What I've read from some of the ophthalmologists that were there who gave like statements, it was compared to like staring at the sun for like 3 or 4 hours, and it was just blasting in hundreds of people's faces.
Yeah, it was. So it's a thing called welder's eye, and that's when people who weld don't use protective equipment. So it's the equivalent of staring at welding equipment for 8 hours.
Oh, it's awful for those people who were affected.
It's not that dickheads.
It's fucking funny. That's really funny. Like, there's someone here saying, I woke up at 4 a.m. and I couldn't see anymore. I had so much pain, and my skin is burned. I needed to go to the hospital. The doctor told me the UV lighting on the stage did it, and it has the same effect of sunlight, so I am unable to see normally.
Mental. The thing is that really makes me laugh. It's not the first time this has happened.
No, I know.
I can't remember the name of the blog. It's a blog, like an edgy blogging company, and they basically look at anything and everything. It's like a edgy version of Lad Bible, and they did a conference in Hong Kong, and instead of using it for their stage equipment, they decided to give everyone black lights, but the black lights that they gave them were sterilization UV lights. they spent all evening waving them in each other's faces. And when people tried to sue them for it, they said, well, we're not actually a group. We just get people to meet together, and that's what Bored Ape are going to do. No, we just gather people together. We're not actually a membership group. These people came and enjoyed our insect killing UV lights at a very unsafe distance for their own enjoyment.
So the other thing as well, the Bored Ape Yacht Club put out a tweet, and I don't know if have you seen the tweet they put out afterwards?
Yes, I have.
Saying apes were aware of the eye-related issues that affected some of the attendees at Ape Fest. We have been proactively reaching out to the individuals since yesterday to try and help them find potential root causes. Based on our estimates, we believe that much less than 1% of those attending and working the event had these symptoms. While nearly everyone has indicated their symptoms have improved, we encourage anybody who was in attendance to seek medical attention just in case.
Someone did a "This is what this really means" tweet, and it's just beneath that, and it says, "I know we burnt your eyes, nearly causing you to go blind. Sorry your skin was scorched with the 1,000 suns. We're trying to find potential root causes, because if we admit fault, you'll probably sue us and win. XOXO, legal department."
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Fucking fantastic stuff.
It's phenomenal. It might have been some of the funniest news I've read this week.
Yeah, and it's the kind of people who just love waving their stupid pictures of an ape around, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah. Like, if it just happened at a rave, I'd probably, like a normal rave or whatever, I'd probably be like, oh, that kind of sucks for them, but it's because it's these people specifically.
So
it's fantastic.
I'm going to find out who it is, the other convention, because it was about 10 years ago.
Mm.
And it, just absolutely killed me.
It's outstanding.
Yeah, Tim, I'm going to ask you now, who's Will Smith beating up this week? Oh no, hold on, I need to start it again. I nearly did the one where he was still
married. I became a movie star because my girlfriend cheated on me when I was 15. And in my twisted psychology, I was like, if I'm the most famous person in the world, no woman could ever cheat on me.
It's pathetic.
The jingle that gets sadder every time you hear it.
It's so sad. I think he's beating up Wally Gator because everyone in the article was like, he wouldn't bite anyone. I think Will Smith's going to see what his limit is.
I like it. Who do you think I think he's beating up?
It's going to be Rishi Sunak.
Why do you think that is, Tim?
Is it because he hasn't got rid of Suella Braverman?
Because he's a massive wanker. He hasn't got rid of Suella Braverman. But the worst thing I think he did this week was take time away from his job of leading the country to interview Elon Musk. Have you seen this?
No, I saw they were together. I didn't know they'd taken time out to do an interview with him.
So, no, he was the interviewer. It wasn't a two-way thing. It was him going, "Oh, Elon, I love you so much." It's the problem with it is it just shows how he thinks that his voters and the people of this country are going to want to go during the next election. And he genuinely thinks, well, this man's very trendy and has a truck that he can throw a metal ball at that won't break and has ruined one of the biggest social media sites that was perfectly fine before. I'm going to take time out of my schedule to wank him off about AI. And he said things like they were talking about AI included in jobs in the next few years. And Elon Musk said, people won't have jobs. They will have hobbies. Because AI is going to take over all of their jobs. And Rishi Sunak went, oh, yeah, you're probably right. What a prick.
What a knob. The pair of them.
Prick. But happily, we're a non-political podcast. Tories are getting fucked over in the predictions for the elections. So
fantastic.
Good. Well, that was who Will Smith is beating up. Tim, I keep meaning to ask you, how many episodes are in this series?
10?
10. I think this is episode 8.
Is it really?
Something like that. It's gone quite quick, hasn't it?
It has this season.
Yeah, so we're going to have to find a new thing, and I'm going to have to write a new jingle.
So talk to me about this on the running order. You've written AI Seinfeld.
This is really funny. So AI Seinfeld has an actual name. So someone has created a piece of AI software that will forever run and forever make content. It's called Nothing Forever, and it's an animation. And so it's an animation, and it's written by robots, and it goes streams for 24 hours a day. When I wrote this in the running order, the AI had confused itself as to what to do and had spent 5 days walking into a fridge.
Have you got a link for this? I'm really interested. That kind of like has the same energy as original Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Just if you search Nothing Forever in Google, it's a sitcom. But yeah, it's always on. I think it's on Twitch actually.
Yeah, I've just pulled up
And
a
it
Twitch
runs.
page.
I don't know if they've fixed it, but yeah, it's for 5 or 6 days. It was just walking straight into the fridge and just kept walking.
I opened up the Twitch chat, and the first thing I saw was a message in Twitch chat saying goblins are nice.
Yeah, I saw that. Have you got the Christmas advert that I have?
I think so. Has it got it's the John Lewis one with the piranha plant?
Is it from Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah, I think it's inspired by it, but it's just a Venus flytrap.
Yeah. No, they're
Oh,
not
it's
walking
some
into
guy
the
sat in a
fridge.
cafe.
They're not walking into the fridge anymore, but it spent 5 days walking into a fridge.
Amazing.
And I thought you'd really enjoy it.
I kind of like it. I'm probably going to keep an eye on this over the week.
So yeah, I'll send you a link to IGN, but basically it went from hundreds of viewers down to 18 because it was literally just the characters just malfunctioned, stopped talking to each other and stood still, piled in front of the fridge.
What a way to end the year.
What a way, eh? What a life.
Yeah.
I thought you'd enjoy that. And Tim, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Oh, yeah. I finally watched it.
Did you finally love it?
No, so I watched this with Pain.
Okay.
And
sorry, can we say now spoilers for the Five Nights at
yes.
Freddy's movie? If you still want to see this, question yourself, but also skip probably 5 minutes.
So when I asked you, Joe, because you saw it before I did,
yeah,
you said, I actually how it was, and you said it was a movie.
Yeah,
and it was, to me, it was barely a movie.
Okay.
Now I am not a Five Nights at Freddy's fan.
Can you give it its proper name, please?
FNAF. I'm not a fan, like at all. But
not
Pain,
the reboot Security Breach.
No, but we'll get to that, I'm sure. So we watched the movie. I'm not a fan of the series. Pain likes the lore, but not the gameplay, which I think is the same boat as you.
I'm with Pain, yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching it from purely a horror movie perspective, and Pain was watching it from a fan perspective.
It was purely not a horror movie.
I think it was marketed as one at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was meant to be, but there was no point
scary.
in it. It was scary.
No, I mean, it was frankly impossible to take the animatronics seriously, to be honest. And then when it turned out that Shaggy from Scooby-Doo was the actual villain, which was, I'm not going to say a great twist, but an amazing turn of fate for the actor.
Yeah, because it was when he went zoinks.
It's when he said zoink Scoob and then jumped in the yellow rabbit suit.
Then killed a child.
Ate a kid. So the first thing that annoyed Pain was the fact that the animatronic mask is, for some reason, anyone who's caught in the traps in Five Nights at Freddy's is like strapped down to a chair, and like they have like the mask approaching their face with like buzzsaws and blades in it.
So there is a law reason for that, I think.
But from what Pain tells me, it's basically the fact that the kids are crammed into a suit, and the reason it kind of clamps down on them and kills them is because the suit gets wet.
Yes and no.
Okay.
So, without trying to go full mode, you should listen to Talking Smack when Slade was on it. He goes through the lore of FNAF, and he did a really good job. But the kids, there's a thing called remnant that's attached to every soul of a person, and the main bad guy said zoinks and wanted to steal some remnant from
Some
kids.
snacks.
But the way that you get that is you scoop it out of someone, basically. And with enough remnant, you can be immortal, or I think you can bring someone back to life. And the reason that he wants to do it is because his child was killed in the Blight of 87.
Is that the Blight of 87?
And I think the mask with the buzzsaw was meant to be the Scoopies. I wasn't convinced. It was a bit like FNAF meets Saw.
Yeah, but like the worst bits of both.
But the suit getting wet thing is about they're called spring lock traps or suits, and it's about the moisture triggering the spring locks and stabbing him, basically.
Yeah. But I was watching it, let's say, just from a purely horror film perspective, no investment in the lore.
Yeah.
It was fucking boring. It was so dull. Like through and through. And you know, I don't know, the characters weren't particularly likable. The animatronics weren't. I couldn't take them seriously. There's a bit where Chica, the bird robot, and her muffin kill someone in the kitchen, and then it looks through the window at someone, and I had to try not to laugh at it because it looked ridiculous. It was, I don't know. I don't think it succeeded as a video game movie. I don't think it succeeded as a horror movie. I don't think it succeeded as a piece of entertainment because I wasn't.
No.
Also, Matt Pat made a cameo. That was incredibly dumb.
Are you sure it was him?
Yes.
Or is that just a theory?
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, that's incredibly stupid. And then he said, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, or at least I think it is, but that's just a theory. And I groaned.
I don't understand why. The whole plot of the story was to the evil aunt Cruella de Vil wanted to get her niece so she could adopt her, but
for the
not
child payments.
For the child payments. And the way they were going to do this was get the lead character fired from his job.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he get fired if he was a night security man and someone broke in during the day?
No idea. Also, there's a point where he and Vanessa, who was like a beat cop in the area, but is actually a security guard of the Freddy's franchise in the 80s. But that's not detailed in the movie. That's just detailed in one of the games. She's a beat cop in the area, and she kind of hangs out there. And there's one night where she gets out of Freddy's after not solving any other crimes in the area, which she seems to do for about a week straight. And the security guard, I forget his name. I'm going to call him Bill.
Michael.
Michael, sure.
His name is Michael.
Okay, well, there we go. We'll go with Michael. So
his name.
So Vanessa and Michael, they leave. And Vanessa watched him lock up. And then some people break in the day and die because the animatronics kill them. And then Vanessa racks up at Michael's house and is like, this is why it's really important that you lock up the restaurant, because someone could be injured on the broken glass or whatever. It's like, you watched him lock up and then you took him to a river and threw away his medication. It's America. That's really expensive.
Well, also, it's pretty irresponsible.
It's massively irresponsible. That's sleep medication.
It's funny, though.
Oh, I couldn't take it seriously at all.
So, in a score of out of 0 to 10 blokes from Blighty, how many blokes from Blighty do you give this out of 10?
Well, I'm trying to see what I gave it on Letterboxd.
I would be amazed if it was anything more than a 2.
I gave it a 1 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
So essentially a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
Do you give it 1 bloke from Blighty or 2 blokes?
I give it a 1 bloke from Blighty.
Oh, well.
But to give you an idea, we watched Hereditary the night after.
Never heard of it.
Phenomenal movie. It's an Ari Aster film.
Okay.
And it makes great stuff. But that was a horror film that did horror well because it was like subtle in the things that it did. it didn't just rely on cheap jump scares and there's a scary child in a scary situation.
There was
It's
0 jump scares in FNAF, which really got me because the whole point in the game is jump scares.
there's a couple of things that might startle you, like when Bonnie the blue bunny slams on the door or whatever.
I did not jump once, and I'm
No, me either.
actually really rubbish with jump scares. I find them I really hate them. And I went into this thinking, well, the only thing that they can't fuck up is the jump scare, right? Because it's just a wah, boo, woo. But there was none.
None of it. But Hereditary has like things that are like not center frame. So like for example, there's a point where I'm not going to say what happens, but one of the characters gets out of bed and there is something on the wall behind him in the shadow in like the top left corner of the screen, and you have to be looking for it to find it.
It sounds like it reminds me of. Have you ever seen The Mortuary's Assistant?
No.
It's a game where it's not a very long game, but it's a loop, and you have to determine. It's a bit like Faz in the fact that you have to determine what the demon is, how it's possessed, which person out of 3.
Mhm.
But there's something like 1,000 different scares in that game, but it randomly generates which ones it gives you, and like you could be turning your camera around to look at something behind you, and you'll see a demon or something or a shadowy figure at the end of a corridor, and then when you turn back, it's not there, but you haven't seen it on first glance because you're doing something else. It's really good. You should check it out. I was going to ask you about genuinely scary games or films, and I think Mortuary's Assistant would be up there.
Hereditary is, in terms of most recent memory, that.
Okay.
And shout out to Josh for acknowledging the first Aliens movie.
I thought at the time, when you said the first Aliens movie,
yeah,
but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, well, that's for you, Josh. But no, check out Hereditary if you can. It's very good, very good.
It's good.
Yeah. However, do you know what's not a good horror movie that I watched? Is Exam. Exam. Have you heard of this movie?
No.
So, did I put this on Letterboxd or did I put it in my notes? Bear with me. Reading and watch list. Exam. So the whole thing with Exam, I guess I put it in my notes on Notion. The whole thing with Exam is that there is a high-end company that is hiring for one position, and 12 people are in a room, and whoever answers the thing correctly after 80 minutes gets the job,
Okay.
which is a fine enough premise. And there's only a couple of rules, which is if they try to communicate with the security guard or anyone outside the room, they're disqualified. If they leave the room, they're disqualified. And if their paper is damaged or destroyed, they're disqualified. That's it. Anything else is fair game.
Okay.
And it turns into, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, so they're allowed to talk to each other. They like start damaging lights and stuff to get like the emergency lights going, see if like the light reacts with paper in a different way. It's a bit like an escape room. That's a really interesting idea for a thriller movie. But as time went on, it just got stupider and stupider. I'm going to spoil this movie as well, so spoilers for Exam, but although it's really not worth the time to watch it, to be honest. It turns out the person who is at the front of the room who is speaking nothing but French, aside from everyone else who speaks English, and the person at the front of the room is crying, turns out to be the CEO of the company. And he's kind of a bit like a plant in the Exam.
So it's the Saw twist. Spoilers for the first Saw.
Yeah. But he gets kicked out of the Exam after eating his own paper because someone told him to, which is very strange. But before he does that, he goes and looks at this timer at the front of the room that shows the 80-minute countdown. And he goes up to it and he kind of crouches and, squats in front of it, really giving it an intense look. And then we don't see anything about it afterwards. And I'm thinking maybe he sees the timer as a light source, so he's going to hold the paper up to that. No, just didn't see anything to do with it. Until the very end, when it goes to like a flashback scene, and you see the CEO press a button on the top of the timer to fast forward it, which is incredible. So that's never shown until the flashback, which is
Okay.
amazing. So the notes I've got written here is because it's a pharmaceutical company, it turns out. The CEO got kicked out of the exam. The timer had a fast forward mode that was not shown. The pharmaceutical company made a pill that can stop bullets, so you eat it and you're bulletproof. But it's
Okay.
only from a gun that they make, and it requires a fingerprint to use the gun.
What?
Yeah,
Sounds like my kind of film.
it's bullshit, frankly.
So, how many blokes out of Blighty did you give that?
Let me check.
I can guess it's 1.
I think it might have been 1.5 actually.
So, more than FNAF.
More than FNAF.
Nice.
Yeah, 1.5.
Oh, cool. There's something you have written here that I'm intrigued about. Something about someone forgotten how to fall at Bristol Temple Meads.
Oh, that's fucking me. So on Thursday, I was having a rough morning. Or it might be
Okay.
Friday. No, Thursday. So I am not as young as I used to be. That's how aging works. But being a skateboarder when I was younger, you learn how to fall pretty quickly in terms of
Okay.
like how to not hurt yourself when you're falling. Right.
Okay.
So to give you an idea of my morning on Thursday, before I left the flat,
You
I
went
opened the cloakroom.
skateboarding.
I wasn't skateboarding. I haven't skateboarded in a very long time. So I opened the cloakroom to grab a hoodie, and I'll go back to the office, which is on the other end of my flat, to go and grab my bag so I can go out for work. And then I go and open the front door and got one of my fingers caught between 2 doors at the same time.
Nice.
Fucking hurt. And then ran for the train. And then as I was getting off the train, I extended my arm out to sling my bag over my shoulder and hit someone in the side of the head with my bag, which had like my laptop and my keyboard and everything in it. So there was like some weight to it.
Nice.
And then
So you assaulted someone?
Out of anger for my morning.
Yeah.
So have you been to Temple Meads?
Yes, I have.
So you know the underground bit, before you get out to the main platform to leave, there's like the steps, the flat bit, and then you turn 90 degrees and go up some more steps.
Yeah.
There, I tripped up a step at one point. And you know when you're kind of like stumbling and you're like kind of almost running low to the ground because you're trying not to fall?
Yeah.
I did that, but I put my wrist down first. Big mistake. If you're ever falling, you just kind of want to tuck and accept it and just protect your head.
Yeah.
So I put my wrist down, which only made me go more off balance because of like the speed and angle I was going at. And then I ended up going shoulder long into a wall, like along here, and basically land like curled up in the fetal position on the floor at Temple Mead.
Did anyone help you?
Not a soul. Not a fucking
that's
soul.
really sad.
I know. And I was like, fuck, for like, I mean, I basically sat on the ground being like, fuck, for a minute.
Like Peter Griffin.
Genuinely, yeah. And then I thought, okay, it's fine. I'll shake it off. And then like, I got up to walk, and I guess I somehow hurt my legs in the fall because I had to hobble to work the rest of it.
Wow.
And I thought, it's fine. I've just hit it. It'll wear off at the end of the day. For the audience, we're recording this 3 days later. My left leg is still in a lot of pain when I walk.
You sound older and older every time we record this podcast.
I was born an OAP. But I think, I don't know if I've done like, I don't know, damaged a muscle or something to it, but I can't really bend or straighten my leg without it hurting right now. It has to sit in that weird 45-degree bit. Thank you.
That's the sympathy I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to jokes?
Yeah, we can move on to jokes. That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week. All right, joke of the week. Usual thing. Joey and I go back and forth with jokes. First one to laugh loses.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the one from last week?
It was the vet, wasn't it?
No, it was the German bra.
Oh yeah, stopping from flopping.
Yeah, thought you enjoy that.
Good.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. This
Okay.
one. What starts with D and ends in S?
Go on.
Pens.
Terrible.
No. Okay.
What material of trousers do Mario and Luigi wear?
Go on.
Denim, denim, denim.
Classic. Yep. Why do dancers wear loose trousers
Don't know.
for the ballroom?
Good.
Clever.
Very clever. Did you know that the urge to sing "The Lion Sleeps Tonight" is only ever a whim away? A whim away. A whim away. A whim away. Yeah.
Yep. Someone has glued my deck of cards together. I don't know how to deal with it.
I like it. That's a good one.
That's clever.
Um,
It doesn't count if you laugh at your own. That's fine.
My favorite verse from the Bible is, "And God said to John, 'Come forth, and you shall receive eternal life.' But instead, John came fifth and won a toaster."
Another classic. I got a promotion at the farm. I'm now the CIEIO.
Very good.
That was very
That was
close.
very, very good. Why don't we see elephants hiding in trees?
Why not?
Because they're really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mountains aren't just funny; they're hilarious.
Oh no, I was really ready to laugh at something then, and
I've
it's
taken
gone.
it back down.
Taking it right back down. Knock knock.
Who's there?
The doorbell repairman.
Sense?
Yeah.
What does a pirate say on his 80th birthday?
I don't know. What does the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
Oi, matey.
You got
Out.
That was terrible. That
Oi,
was so
matey.
bad.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week. I thought I was onto a cracker with a deck of cards.
I think the joke of the week should be the CIEIO.
You like that one?
That was a really good one. But instead, tell us the joke of the week.
What does the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
Go on.
Oi, matey.
Very good. Very,
I've still got that
good.
Nothing Forever stream up on my other monitor.
It's because it's classic TV.
Yeah. I would watch it all day.
I would too.
Yeah.
Tim, anything else you want to go through?
I went to Bath today. For a
Tell
trip.
me about Bath.
So we were just looking for something to do because I have the weekend off.
Wow.
I know that never happens, and then I've got a manic week ahead of me next week.
Nice.
Lots of recording, so stuff for you guys coming down the pipeline.
You guys.
So we went to Bath. We saw some things. We got. Let me just quickly get the note here. We went for lunch to begin with because we got there for about just before midday, and we saw someone in a pub called the Salamander. If anyone is in Bath, go to the Salamander. It's depending on what you get, it can be a little pricey, but the food's good, drinks are good. Aside from this one guy who returned a pint of ale for being murky. Now I don't know if you've drank ale by the pint before, Joey. Not exactly clear. It's pretty cloudy by nature.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't drink it, but I've served it, so.
Yeah. So you know what it's like.
Well, that guy obviously didn't.
Well, that's it. But he was sat there with his friends, being like, "Oh no, that's not murky. That is not settling. It's not fresh ale." He was like, "It's ale."
Yummy. Yummy.
So after that, we went to the Museum of East Asian Art.
Nice. Did you steal anything?
One thing, you can see it behind me. It's a scroll.
Did you glue your hands to anything and shout "Just Stop Oil"?
Yeah. Classic,
Good.
Classic behavior. No, it was a really interesting museum. Like full of art from Tibet, Taiwan, Japan, Hong Kong, China.
Nice. You
It
mean
was really, really cool.
East Asia?
East Asia.
Wow, I would never have got that from the name Museum of East Asian Art.
You would think it's a bit of a misnomer.
Whoa.
It was just a lot of stuff there. We ended up going to this vintage market.
Nice.
which is where we actually got that scroll from, not the museum.
I didn't think you'd stolen them from the museum
Well, no, but they have a gift shop at the museum.
that you stole from.
That's not from. Yeah, that's that.
Good.
I robbed that place blind.
The crime makes it feel better.
Secret ingredient, crime. Then vintage market. We bought that thing. What else? I think we're for a bit of a wander around the shops, to be honest. But
I've never been to Bath. Is it worth going?
I think it's worth going. Bath Abbey's really nice. Although if you do want to see the Roman baths, which is obviously where the town gets its namesake, you have to book tickets months in advance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
You get to go
that
for a swim?
I don't think you even get to go for a swim.
Oh.
It's just a look around the baths, but you have to book it months in advance.
Do you think they have a wave pool?
I don't think they do, but they definitely have some sort of water slide.
Slide's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, sounds great. So you'd recommend Bath?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Tim, we've actually covered your pub quiz question at the start. The answer was Germany. Congratulations to me.
You.
And you can enjoy National Clean Out Your Fridge Day. Is there anything else you want to say to the listeners? Anything you want to plug?
Yep. We are actually on the last 4 episodes of The Fanatic now.
Nice.
I've been saying that for weeks, but that's because I keep losing track. But we have, at the time of recording this, we've got episode 49, 50, 51, and then our full-length commentary at episode 52. And that's it.
Nice.
We're done. So give that a listen. Or at Wembembo on everything, go do the social stuff.
Wembley Boogles.
Wembley, Pembley. Go listen to Game Changers. That's my new little side show.
Well, that's what I was going to plug, because the episode with Andrew Bowen was great. Are we seeing one this week or next week?
So, without going into it right now, because I don't know when it's going to go live, I'm recording one on Monday as of the time I'm recording.
In 2 days' time, yeah.
In 2 days. And potentially another one with a pretty big guest.
They're all big guests. They're game changers. But
They
do you
are
think the
game-
next episode 2 will be this Friday or next Friday?
I think it's going to be this Friday.
Great. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that.
If not, it'll be next Friday. But you guys will know. You'll see it. You'll see it.
You'll see it, because Tim's a game changer.
What?
Tim, anything else you want to say to our loving, adoring, fun fans?
Well, is there anything you want to plug?
Game changers.
There you go. Game Changers.
Yeah.
All right.
And
cool.
Between Two Pods has got loads of really good episodes coming up.
Yeah, lots of, like I said earlier, and in the Discord, there's a lot of really good stuff coming down the pipeline for Game Club Pod.
Oh, actually, do you know what we could have talked about really quickly? Is the guest that we had on earlier today.
Oh, yeah, we had a very special, magical guest.
Magical guest. One that's very seasonal, but also may have appeared as the narrator of March of the Penguins.
Yeah,
Weird.
so you guys will have to wait and see on December 1st for that.
Ooh, Christmas. Right, nice one. Well, Tim, any message for the audience?
Nah, take that, you bastards.
Take that, you sexy bitches. Love you. Bye.
Bye.